thumbnail. Okay, so we went shopping, our favorite place, and adding to our paint booth project, we got a couple of the ubiquitous spray guns, the famous $15 Harbor Freight spray gun, and we also bought, just for kicks, a little 4-ounce adjustable detail spray gun. And while we were there, we got this little regulator that hopefully we can put between the air hose and the gun when we get going. So the weather's so crappy that we haven't been able to inflate our paint booth. So in the meantime, we are collecting the materials, and we'll see how this works. There's plenty of videos out there in YouTube land about these spray guns, but we'll give you our version at some point here once we get everything up and running. They seem to work if you mix the paint properly and use the correct air pressures and stuff. They seem to work okay. We ain't painting no showpieces here, so we'll see how it sorts out. I went by the paint store today. Don't know why. Just thought I'd see what was available. And you have not a lot of options, but in this case, I think we're okay because of the color we're going to use. But most of all these paints today are multi-stage, base coat, clear coat, just water-based, whatever. A lot more than what we're used to from the old days. Lacquer, acrylic enamel, that stuff doesn't exist. But we got some cups and some sticks, some catalyst, some reducer. We got some paper, because newspaper doesn't work like it should. And what we got was some single stage, high tech, it's called, I think, Fleet White. And it's reasonably pre-mixed, not totally pre-mixed. You still got to add the catalyst. You mix it 4-to-1. You still got to add 1 part catalyst and 1 part reducer to get it to work, but I think we can figure that out. The thing is, now this is just the paint, and don't ask me why, but I got to get primer, and a smart guy would have bought the primer first and then the paint, but I never claimed to be real smart. So at any rate, this box of stuff here is like $240, which, it's a lot of money. Not a lot of money in the scheme of things, but so far on this project, I would say we're in every bit of $1,000. We bought our bouncy house paint booth, which of course, that we can use that for multiple projects, and a couple of spray guns and a heavy duty extension cord and a bunch of other stuff. And we got to buy another $200 worth of paint because the primer and the reducer, it's expensive too. And then you got masking tape and tack rags and wax and grease remover. And man, it just keeps adding up. Unbelievable what stuff costs. My original plan, I really kind of looked at a lot of stuff on the internet, and I was going to go to the tractor store and get some tractor paint and have at it. White paint, how hard could it be? But really, by the time you buy the stuff at the tractor store, the paint, catalyst, reducer,
There's probably $100 difference in materials. And you know what? As much work is involved in painting a car, yeah, I'd rather not chunts out on the paint. So, that's just a word to the wise. You can paint the car with Rust-Oleum. You can paint the car with tractor paint, but don't shoot yourself in the foot for $100. So that's where we are. We're still accumulating stuff. I've still got to get the primer and the reducer for the primer. And then we got just a little bit of body work to do on the door. And then really we gotta prep the thing for paint. Now here's a tip that maybe everybody knew but me, maybe nobody knows. I don't know. I didn't really put a lot of thought in it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did think about it. But we've gone around the car and pre-painted a lot of little areas with round fender openings and where the door handles go, and actually painted the hood and the deck lid and that sort of thing. And for the most part, that paint is a Krylon spray paint. And we're going to have to sand that all down and put a 2K primer over the whole car, because automotive paint does not like to stick to that Krylon. So, we didn't do ourselves any favors there. I mean, at the end of the day, the car was primered, but was probably going to need reprimed anyway. But we certainly don't want to go through all of this trouble and have that Krylon paint sort of fester up from down underneath everything else and ruin whatever it is we end up doing. So just a word to the wise, if you get tempted to put some Krylon on your car, yeah, don't do it. Well, we're adding to our collection of materials for our painting project, and we got this paint can mixing lid and pouring spout, the Master Elite series. Gotta be good, right? We'll open her up and see what's in there. Now I have to say that the package says designed in the USA, so I suppose that's something. I'm not taking this out of the bag right now, but basically this is a plastic lid that clamps onto your paint can. It's got a little spout there for pouring the paint out. See, it's got those cam locks for tightening it on the deal, but it also has a set of paddles there and a stem that goes down through the middle so you can stir the paint. And I think, if I remember, it comes with a little handle there. It comes up through there, or you can put your drill on it. So we get a little closer to the project, we'll take it out of the package and see how it works. We're continuing. Got a little bit of a cold today. To add to our collection of things for our bouncy house paint booth, and we bought this 100-foot heavy duty 3-wire grounded extension cord. It's supposed to be 12.3, 125 volt. Should handle 15 amps, and stuff like this is critical because those fans draw a lot of amperage, so you've got to have a good heavy cord between your outlet and your fan to keep them going. Otherwise your cord's going to overheat and potentially cause a problem. So 100 feet of cord, that ought to take care of us. We'll see what's next. Well, some days working on things in the backyard just sucks. So we got to get this Pinto ready for paint. And 95% of the car is really in good shape. A lot of new sheet metal and no rust, that sort of thing. But this one door had some damage, and good luck finding a good used Pinto door these days. So the OG did some work on this door, and we're trying to clean it up, but really right in this belt line, figures right on the belt line, it's kind of monkeyed up. So we've been working, really at this stage the only thing you can do is put some Bondo in it. We've got it pretty close, trying to keep the belt line right. Not entirely sure how that looks. It looks a little obtuse down in here, but I'm not sure that that's not a optical delusion, as they call it. We'll have to see. One of the things I think we've done here, accidentally on purpose, is the belt line. The fender's riding a little high on the car, so the belt line is high there, and if you're going to meet it here, you kind of got to go uphill a little bit. So it's a work in progress, but we're getting pretty close. We'll get some primer on this thing, and we're going to have to prime the whole car because got enough nonsense going on here that we'll have to put some good 2K primer, as they say, on there. But I hate bodywork. I don't know how many different ways to say it. I hate bodywork. All right, I know on our paint project, we're sanding the entire car with some 320. Got some wet and dry paper, which means you can sand it dry or use water when you're sanding. The water will help wash away what you're sanding, and maybe keep your sandpaper alive a little longer, but it's also a messier. And did I mention how much I hate bodywork? Jesus. So the good news is we've got it up on our little lift here, and we can get at the bottom of the doors and that sort of thing, and bottoms of the fenders. And we got this side pretty well sanded. Got to whip around the other side and do the other side. We've got the deck lid done, and we'll get it all scuffed down, and then we got to blast it with some 2K primer, and then scuff it all down again. So that's what we're doing. Fun, fun, fun. But hopefully it'll look nice when it's done. We'll find out.